Howdy, y'all, and welcome to Texas Watch for the week of Tuesday, June 17th, 2020. I'm your host, Projekt, and joining me, as always, is the Tracer main with the biggest brain, ZXO.
What's up? Overwatch League is back this week. Our teams got to play. It's good to be able to have something to talk about.
Yeah, they got to play.
Yeah, they got to play. We got to see our teams play, and we'll start with that.
Oh, don't worry, we'll get into it because this is Texas Watch, your source for Overwatch League news and discussion about the Dallas Fuel and the Houston Outlaws. You can catch the show live right here on twitch.tv/ProjectAR every Tuesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time because Texas time
is bestest time.
And if you can't catch the show live, don't worry about it. We put the VODs up on YouTube and we're on podcast services. Look us up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of it. Just Texas Watch. You'll find us there. Leave us a review. Maybe we'll read it on the show.
We're everywhere.
We literally are at this
point.
We
are. We're always watching.
Is there anything else that we need to plug?
I don't think so. I think we have that. We're on all the services, all on YouTube. It'll be up after the show. Feel free to take a look, leave a comment, and set a reminder when our show goes live. We're here every week on Tuesday.
Oh my God, I'm going to start stealing people's phones, like go to Google Calendar reminder, Texas Watch, be ready to watch.
No, because I started doing that, honestly, because I set reminders for when Overwatch League starts on the weekends and stuff like that. And it works. I get a notification like Overwatch League is starting and, our Overwatch League has started. I'm like, bet. Turn on the TV.
The notifications that the app sends are always late.
Oh yeah, dude. I let Google do it. I trust Google more than Google or Blizzard. I don't know who I trust more.
I trust kind Google of more than Activision Blizzard.
But they all just kind of sell your soul, don't they? They all just kind of one wants your data, the other just wants your money.
Yeah, but at least if Google is selling my soul, they're using it for something. All Activision Blizzard is selling my data for is just selling it to make money. Okay?
Yeah.
At least I'm bettering AI by letting them steal my shit.
Right. Machine learning. Oh, I was watching this one thing the other day. I don't know if you watched John Oliver. This is an Overwatch podcast, but did you see his facial recognition?
Yeah,
this past week? Man, that's it. I'm all up in a database somewhere. Like I can't. Yeah, I walk down the street. They're like, "Yep, that's the guy."
It's wild that there are cities in the U.S. like how San Francisco was like, you cannot use facial recognition, and like that's the only city doing that. That's wild, dude.
And that's only on the city level. Like on the state level, they can still do it if they want. They can override that, which is crazy to think about. So I was on a conspiracy theory binge, last weekend too as well. I was like, "Oh shit, I'm everywhere. They know everything about me."
But that was a trip. They do. So
yeah.
Hey, welcome to 2020. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about some video games, shall we?
Yes.
So last week I messed it up. We used to talk about the Outlaws first. I got excited. Okay, we were ready to talk Overwatch, and I wanted to talk Dallas, but let's talk about Houston. Okay.
Yes.
I guess.
I mean, of all weeks, you would have made sure to talk about Houston first. This is the week where. Shit, maybe it's a little rough. It's a little rough.
Let's not cut any corners, man. Houston sucked this week. Y'all got fucking rolled. Okay,
but like here's the thing about Houston. Like we show like moments of like, I don't want to say greatness. Greatness is a strong word. We show moments of competence of like, okay, we have some pro players that can play with some of some really good players here. But playing against the Fusion here, it was rough. It was rough. We had Carpe was able to run free kind of on his own. Dante tried his best. I was impressed by Dante throughout the whole match. He really tried to. He didn't try to. He did on multiple occasions step up to the level of Carpe. And I was super impressed by that.
I still am looking at this though and like, y'all really didn't have a chance. Sorry, not sorry.
Right, but like on Hollywood, particularly. I know I'm jumping a couple maps ahead.
Well, let me see if I can get there. I got the VOD pulled up, bruh.
That's right.
Like next level shit.
Let's do it. So it was just a real.
Where do you want me to go to on Hollywood?
On Hollywood, I believe it was on our defense. No, on our attack. Attack between A and B. But I think it was like the first or second fight. We were running our dive, and it looked really clean. It looked really clean with hydration on Muma. I mean, hydration on Muma.
That just goes to show how long Muma has been main tank, though, for you guys.
Yeah, it's weird for me to say hydration on main tank, but I have to get used to it now because apparently that's the way we're rolling. So with hydration on main tank on Winston, and obviously Meko doing what he's supposed to do on Diva. I mean not Diva, but he was putting the Sigma a lot of the time because Diva's banned. So
unfortunately,
it was competent though. Our dive actually looked pretty decent. We harassed the Fusion a little bit. We were able to at least get them on the back foot. What I really disagreed with, and especially on Hollywood, we had Linkster on the Ashe most of the time, right? He got a mercy pocket for most of the time in that match and was not effective at all. That's what kind of really bugged me. Because you've got Dante playing the Tracer, checking Carpe on the Tracer, and then you've got Linkster getting I'll just put it bluntly, he's getting his ass handed to him by Hisu. Like, that was just rough. Just a rough all the way around.
I'm trying to see who played Mercy for you guys.
Jexay. Jexay was on the Mercy. Repel was on the Baptiste.
No, Repel's on Ana.
And on attack, it's on the attack. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of Link's on the defense when he was on high ground when he was getting his ass kicked. Okay, yeah, on attack. on attack, yeah, we were doing dive. We had our Ana play. I don't know if we went on a Bap or was it on a Zen. I think it was on a Baptiste.
Is that what it's showing? Attack?
For our attack, yeah.
Yeah, you were going on a Bap.
On a Bap, okay, that's what I thought. So yeah, we were performing relatively well until we got to the end of point B, and then things got a little rough. And then we continued on past that, and it was really, it's frustrating as an Outlaws fan sometimes because we show moments, like I said before, of competence where a team like the Philadelphia Fusion, who's 13-1, actually has to try, and then we flip it around and we go to a point where we're like, oh well, I guess we're gonna go full blown. I don't know how to play Overwatch plat mode, and we're just gonna start just feeding and diving in. Like, there's a couple times Hydration made a couple Muma dives. Winston dive. I keep saying Muma dive. I'm so used to Muma being on Winston, like I associate the two in my brain. Like Winston is Muma, but I guess not. But he had a couple dives that were just not that good. He got blown up relatively quickly. That's just a map that really stood out to me because it was very it showed a lot of times that we had a chance to play and didn't play well. The other maps, like Control was a roll. I believe our hybrid map, our hybrid map was Hollywood. Our escort map was a roll. Like, it was harder overall to watch. I mean, I think you could, the best moments, I would say, if I had to pick two spots, you could say the best part was on Attack on Hollywood when we almost capped it at the very end, and almost got a map. Our worst moment was definitely our worst moment was definitely Control, where we were just where we got just outclassed on like every level. Like it was rough there.
They mentioned this in the broadcast, and I feel like we need to bring this up today, that Philadelphia is the scrappy team. They want you to go for those 1v1s. They want you to go for those individual fights.
Yeah, and that's the last thing we need to do. Like, especially the Outlaws, like Linkster, dude, you're not gonna win the 1v1 with Hisu. Like, you're just not. It's not gonna happen. Just it's okay, bro. Like, it's okay, bro. Valorant will still be there. Like, you can... but it was really obvious with that whole battle. But once again, I was really impressed with Dante. He did what he had to do the best he could. It was funny every time they cut to Dante between like maps and stuff. They had the face cameras, whatever. He looked so just not wanting to be there. It was hilarious. Dante's already a laid back guy. Like he's low key. He doesn't, he's not a real shouty guy. No rah rah. But after the first map, he was literally in his chair, leaning back, like,
let's just get this over with.
He looked so like he just didn't want to be there. He looked so disgruntled. He was like, man, it doesn't matter what I do. I just don't think we have the team to be able to beat the Fusion. And as a player, in any sport, if you go into it knowing the other team is that much better, you want to at least have that fire in your pit of your stomach. Like, yeah, we're the underdog. We can do the upset.
Right.
But no one on the team really, I think, is doing that. And it's starting to show, which is what I was really kind of disappointed in the team attitude. I think we're close to, depending on how the rest of this month goes and how we do in the tournament, I think we're pretty close to being on tilt, or at least I hope that we may consider start blowing things up and like let Muma go and get a new main tank, like or just a straight main tank. Hydration's not even a main tank. Hydration came into the league as a projectile DPS player, like, and a Roadhog player as his only tank. And now he's playing main tank Winston. We need a new main tank.
Well, then this is the question I want to ask you then. What moves are we going to be making here? Because Houston has not made any pickups.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me. We're one of the few teams that are like that. I mean, multiple teams have turned over their entire roster. The Mayhem did, the Dragons did, the Titans very evilly and unequivocally did. They just ripped the band. They didn't even rip the bandit out. They like cut the head off. Like, all right. So a lot of teams are willing to make moves and flip things like that. But we're just one of those teams that's not. And at first, my excuse was that we didn't have a lot of money, right? Because we were, Optic kind of fell off and dropped us. We were sold to a different organization. We had restructuring between the coaches, a new owner, GM change with Flame. So like it's a lot of change. Was I thought, okay, if there's change at the top, there's gonna be change at the bottom, and that really hasn't happened. All we've done is say, Dante, carry us, please, and pray.
Well, let me divert this conversation just a little bit. So in previous interviews, we have seen Flame actively mention how difficult it was selling the Outlaws franchise because of how expensive the franchise was, how the Overwatch League wasn't performing as Activision Blizzard intended for it to. Do you think that has to do with it? I mean, I
think it does, but I think that's the thing. Like for our market, like Houston's brand and market is amazing.
But
it's
that's
great.
Just the thing, though. The brand and market's amazing. The team synergy, the fandom is there, right? That's what makes the team so valuable. But the team is trash. No disrespect. Like, yeah.
So, and which in the back of my mind, and I really hope this is not the case. They're just trying to milk this for what it is and keep it profitable. Right, it's more profitable to have a so-so team. You're paying this average amount, and just ride the coattails of the fandom and the brand to make money.
But this is where my conspiracy theory fear comes in. Is Owl scripted?
Yeah, like
the storylines are almost too perfect.
Yeah, if you script it though, like you would want your like biggest market teams, your Dallases, your even like Seoul Dynasty is a big one in Korea. I think Spitfire with Cloud9, you'd want those bigger brands to do a lot better than I think what they are. Well, so
it's the same thing with the Spitfire. Like, so Cloud9 actually, we're not talking about Houston anymore. Cloud9 doesn't technically own the Spitfire anymore. Because after the first season, right, when they got their championship, C9 was super happy. Oh, yeah, we have a great team. And then season 2 comes around, and they weren't doing so hot. Overwatch League wasn't getting the numbers that they were supposed to be getting. Cloud9 was like, maybe this investment isn't worth it. Noticing a pattern here, they decided to sign a separate, I think, like equity firm or company, what have you, to manage all of the London Spitfires games and everything. Also because of the fact that coronavirus, London's playing in Korea right now. They're not playing in London. So for C9 to try to manage that while they're playing, it was just a pain in the ass. And they kind of did.
And they may have dropped them. Yeah, not dropped them, but just kind of moved them along a little bit or put them under a subsidiary. Yeah.
It's just fucking wild this is happening, dude.
Yeah, and so we don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't know what happens at the top between a lot of these teams, but I just know, for the Outlaws, it kind of went off expected. I predicted on the show that we would lose. I thought it'd be a 3-1, but we didn't really get. We didn't even get that far. But so overall in general for that Outlaws game, I feel like I'm a broken record here. We're repeating the same thing about we have some main tank issues. We have one really strong player, and we had two, I would say, really good supports. But it's just not enough we don't have the synergy and enough to overcome, those deficiencies from the 1v1 level or mechanical skill level. We don't have the team synergy to overcome that and be barely be a mid-tier team, dude. So it's that's it. I don't know. Yeah. I'm sad.
It's okay,
I'm just sad.
You're welcome to be sad. You're welcome to be frustrated. I mean, it sucks. I mean, we're about to talk about Dallas, but I totally get it. we have these passions for our team. You know, we want our teams to succeed.
I take time out of my day every Outlaws game. I stop
do.
my schedule, and this is what I get: sweat. That's the story of my life as an Outlaws fan. Not really. I mean, season 1, stage 1. How long ago was that? 3 years ago now?
Y'all had a real hot start, and then
dude, that was 3 years and 20 pounds ago. Like,
oof. But speaking of poor Texas teams, let's come over. Let's talk about the Fuel. Yeah, Dallas also had a trash game this week.
Yeah.
So we played the Florida Mayhem.
Yep.
The not so trash anymore Florida Mayhem.
So we did. Yeah, we played the top 2 teams in NA. Yep, between Florida and Philly.
I thought SF.
Oh, SF. That's right. Oh, yeah. Reigning champions.
We played top 3.
Top 3. 2 top 3 teams. Yeah.
And like, it was really frustrating watching this game. Like, I was gonna go back and rewatch it on stream, and then the replay viewer was like, haha, we're not gonna work. So I just watched shout out to Action Esports replays.
Highlights, yeah.
Do you watch those? Because they're like,
Action good. Highlights, yeah, they're pretty good.
I watched through that, and it was just like, yep, it's what I already know. I remember last week I had so much hope for bringing in Paintbrush, you know, thinking that this guy was going to be what we needed.
Dude, okay, yeah, we have to talk about that because he had some questionable.
He was nervous. He said in interviews beforehand, in tweets, I'm really nervous. This is my first time. I mean, this is literally the first time this man has played a full game all season. He played 2 maps for the Gladiators and then continued to be benched. So
yeah,
I don't.
There were a couple times, like, because he would drop, because he played Baptiste for most of the match.
Yes.
And he dropped the window a couple times where I was like, I had to look around. For people who listen later, I'm looking around in my chair like, did he hear ghosts? Like, who is he putting the window in front of? I don't see anybody. When fights were lost, like they'd be down 2, and then he put Baptiste ult. And that, of all ultimates, is one of the ones that you need your entire team to be there because you need people to shoot through it for it to be effective. Kind of like an EMP. Like you EMP when everyone's dead and everyone's like, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
And Paintbrush did that a couple times. I'll give that to Nerves because I think so. Yeah, he's like, I need to use it. When do I use it? And he waits too late and then just uses it at the wrong time. So that's one thing that stood out to me about that game. But besides that, I think Dallas played well. But go ahead. Yeah, this is your segment.
It's okay. Going through the game again, it was really interesting watching because we saw that this team is still good. You know, we still have Doha, we still have Decay. Decay still pops off.
Oh, man, dude. Yeah. God, damn it. I want Decay. Stop. Give me Decay. Can we just take him?
No, he's ours.
He's so good, dude. I'm really becoming a Decay fan. He is really good.
If I had to buy a jersey, because you know they're going to go on sale at the end of the season.
Of course.
I'd probably pick up Decays. Maybe Notes. I was thinking like Note because Diva main and everything, but he's probably played more Sigma this year than Diva.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Due to the meta. But I'm a huge fan of Decay's Tracer play, man. I love carry Tracer gameplay, hero Tracer gameplay. We're like, all right, I got a 1-clip 3 people if we're going to win this fight. And there's Decay.
He does it.
Recall. Like, it's crazy.
Our supports aren't enabling him like we need to.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is the key problem here is we have, like, it's really frustrating because I don't want to say that the rookies aren't that good, right? You have Crimzo, who played in Contenders for 2 years.
Yep.
Excuse me. So he has experience, but the pro level, as anyone will tell you in any competitive sport, it's different than the amateur level. Paintbrush, who we literally picked up last week, was thrown into the starting roster, which I'm so confused by. Like,
yeah, because I remember last week you said you didn't think he'd start. You didn't think that he would play that much, maybe play 1 map.
And then he plays literally all 4.
He plays all of them.
Did we even make any swaps that game? No.
No, you didn't.
We didn't. See, and this is, I think, the problem with the way that the Overwatch League, like, I don't want to say Overwatch League. This is more of a team envy problem.
Okay.
Because we sign players for 2-3 year long contracts, and then, thanks to the power of esports, it's a young man's game, And we end up fielding, not to say that's a bad thing, because we have a team of half veterans, half rookies. That's okay.
Right. That's fine. It's fine.
But then now we have 6 people just sitting on the bench. Like, we had Zachary sitting on the bench. He just retired for Valorant. We have AKM sitting on the bench. He has not seen a moment of playtime all season. We haven't seen Uncle play all season. Let's see. Closer's been playing, but because of necessity. No disrespect to Closer, but judging by like how it seemed in interviews, it didn't seem like he wanted to be there. I don't know. I don't know.
It's hard to be part of a losing, team with that mentality. Same with the. I was just explaining about what Dante was going through, dude. He was just like, man, fuck this, dude. Like I'm tired of having to pop off or do what I can, and my team's not, doing enough. Like, and you're also kind of in the same boat, but the Fuel as well as the Outlaws. With this level of we're good enough to be competitive, but we're just not win. And if it looks like leadership and ownership is okay with that so far, at least for the Outlaws, it seems like it. The Fuel made moves to get a high quality DPS, but that's the problem. Like they need another big splash. Damn, the New York Excelsior got Hacksaw.
Well,
do they really need Hacksaw?
They didn't need Hacksaw, but there's something about all of that I think that we're glossing over, and it's the fact that all of the teams that picked up the Runaway Core were all Korean rosters. I do think the fact that because Dallas does play in Dallas, that would mean that if any of the players would be picked up by them, they would have to move to Texas. They would have to stay away from their family in the middle of a pandemic. I would get why they wouldn't want to do that.
I guess if they have a choice, right? Because Sparkle just came into the league. And he had to move from, Korea over here to Paris. He had to come to or go to Paris.
Do you think he's actually playing in Paris, or do you think he's just playing at home on 200 ping? Or no, he's in South Korea, probably like 4 ping.
He did an interview. No, he's at the team house.
Oh, okay.
He did an interview because it was Zoe, him, and the translator, and in the background you could see the team. He's at the team house.
Okay, good.
So it's doable, and I guess it's a little different because he's a rookie. So of course he's gonna want the experience of being in the team and stuff. And his English is okay. He needed a translator, but he reads it and knows enough English and Overwatch to communicate. At least that's what he said. So it's doable. It's just a matter of maybe Sparkle's high caliber, but is a rookie, but with someone with the prestige and everything or whatever, Hacksaw and some of these Vancouver Titans players, maybe they were just like, screw that. And plus, too, they were already in Korea. That's the whole point of why this whole situation was bad, because Vancouver was like, come to Canada. They were like, hell no, I'm not getting on a plane. And then they cut everybody. So they were like, screw that, we're going to stay in Korea. So maybe that's part of it, too. But
it's just questionable that there are so many moves that are involved with the team that we just don't know about. Even if we get a leak saying so-and-so is going to... I remember, who was it that was supposed to go to Dallas? Someone from Element Mystic? He was it was rumored that the main support from Element Mystic was being picked up by Dallas. And I was like, yo, that's great news. I'm very happy about that. But that didn't happen. We got Paintbrush instead. Now, I don't want to act like Paintbrush is a downgrade. But it's like
he hasn't proven he hasn't proven to be an upgrade yet. Yes,
very much so. And the problem with our support line has always been, except for Unko, because I feel like he was the only one that actually popped off. We tend to pick up supports that are very good at supporting and not good at getting elims. And I feel like we play too safe because of that.
Right, which is a game changer, right? Because even I think a lot of comparisons people make to are things people say about Moth is that Moth is actually a really conservative support, believe it or not. But he makes big plays when he needs to. He's like, I need to make a play, and he gets that boop or he gets that frag as Lucio, and he gets it done. But I don't see that. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, on the Outlaws, Jexay and Repel, they're a little too bloodthirsty sometimes, and they just go die.
I love seeing Jexay Lucio, though, because he's getting some picks.
Oh, yeah, dude. He's up there with Muma, I'm not Muma, geez, hydration. I don't know. My boy Muma's just not in the game, and hydration is just taking the spot. I've been saying Muma for 3 years. But hydration's there with Jexay. They're both up there trying to get kills, and it's fun to watch, but it may not be very effective. But yeah, having a support line that can frag out. We're not going to talk about the other teams, right? Like the Fusion and then Funny Astro, and Alarm. Those guys are insane. They get frags all the time.
That's the thing, though, is all of the great supports in the league are usually pretty aggressive. I mean,
that's
look
true.
at Jonak. Literally, the example of an aggressive support.
Former MVP.
Yeah. He still has that title. Wait, is it technically former MVP because he got it? And
yes,
Oh.
Okay, former MVP and reigning MVP. It's like reigning MVP, the person that got it last year be Sinatra is the reigning MVP, and he's a former MVP would be Jonak.
Which, can we call him reigning if he doesn't play Overwatch anymore?
Yeah, in my opinion, until anyone takes the title, you're the reigning champion until someone takes it from you. So
everything's gonna take it so far. I've heard of Carpe a couple of times.
Yeah, I want it to be Carpe because Carpe, I'm a huge Carpe fan, low key. Like the guy is insane on hit scan. I base my Overwatch sensitivity on Carpe, by the way. But I was like, I want to aim like this guy. But I think that's really the only person I can think of right now. On the Shock, they're all just really so good. It's hard to pick one to stand out. Maybe Rascal. Maybe it's because his echo play is amazing. Rascal is the best echo I have seen the whole season because he can play every hero at literally a top 5 level. It is insane.
Remember when we had Rascal?
God, how'd y'all blow that, man?
I mean, I can tell you how he blew it. It's called Kai Kai.
Yeah, like that guy can literally play anything you want him to. He could probably play tank if you really want him to. So yeah, I just don't know. The support line is a huge part of it, and for Dallas, Paintbrush kind of disappointed, and he didn't kind of inject that juice that I thought maybe he would if he did play.
This was his first game, though.
Yeah, I predicted last week that he was the wild card, that if no one really knows how he plays and he has a good game, I thought you had a really good chance. But he kind of, I don't want to say shit the bed because it wasn't his fault fully that they lost, but he didn't perform like I thought he would once he got in there, which is fair. It's his first full game. That's a lot to expect from a new player or a player that hasn't played much all season.
Right. Well, let's do this. Let's take a look at the next week, kind of see what we're playing, who we're playing against. Because this will be interesting for both of us, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And wait, let me get that transition ready, and then we go. Fwa fwa! Haha. So taking a look at this, we have Houston playing against the Gladiators, and we literally play our games back to back.
Yeah, we do.
Nice.
Yes, Sunday Eve. Wait, why are these games
Saturday
so
evening,
late?
Right?
Yeah, is there always an 8:00 game? Yeah, I don't think it's usually that late.
I've seen
Interesting.
No, we've had games at 9 before, so 8's not the latest.
There's 4 because there's 4. That's right. Because I think last week weren't there only 3 on Saturday.
Yeah,
and I think the last one was at 6. But okay, yeah. So we're back to back. Yeah, dude, the Outlaws and the Fuel will play.
So let's talk about this first game: Gladiators versus the Outlaws. You're looking at a team on the downslide versus a team on the slide.
Yeah. So wait, didn't they win last week?
Oh wait, you're right. They did.
They won, I believe. They actually look pretty good. OG and Space are climbing up there as one of the better tank duos in the league.
They are one of my favorite tank duos, not just because they're good, but because I actually like both of them as players.
Yeah, and they're very consistent. Space is so underrated. He's so underrated as a player, as an off tank. Like his Sigma play is awesome, and his Diva play is great. He's really been able to pick up. Yeah, they beat the Rain. So it's a tough one. I think we could beat them, but I think our current mental's kind of shot. I don't know if, especially with Bird Ring, it's gonna be Bird Ring versus Lynxer.
Yeah, dude. Well,
I don't know if I
1v1 though. I would be interested in watching Bird Ring versus Lynxer.
Yeah, I would. Of course, I would be too. I give a slight edge to Bird Ring because Bird Ring is popping off like London Spitfire Bird Ring, like season 1. Like he's looking really good again. He's looking really comfortable in his role with the Gladiators. So that'd be interesting. But I think the Gladiators they're always a sneaky team. They just always hang around, dude. The Gladiators are always a team, like they're a tough out. They're a really tough out and a really tough team to beat. My prediction for that, I think it goes to a map 5. I think it goes to a map 5 and the Gladiators win, though. They pull it out.
I'm actually go against that. Looking at the team that the Gladiators are, them being as up and down as they are, I think Houston is getting hungry for not winning recently.
I hope so. I really hope so. Trust me.
I would like to see, I can see this also going to a game 5, but I can see it going 3-2 in the way of Houston. just because like this team has been playing together for a while now. Since Hydration's been switched over to main tank, it's been what 3-4 games.
Yeah,
That's about enough time for him to like figure it out, kind of get into okay, maybe this is the way I want to play. So
right, that's true.
That. But let's talk about the other game, Dallas versus Vancouver.
Okay, if y'all lose this game,
okay,
it's Dallas Fuel versus contenders.
Yeah,
because they're all contenders players on this team.
So they played the Defiant, they lost
and got rolled.
They played the Titans. They are the. Oh, sorry. That Red Bull's not kicking out.
It's not duty. I know that goes. I had to have a rock star before this. I was like, whoa. All right.
Let's see. Yeah, see, they've lost. Even y'all have beaten them. Like.
Okay, shut the hell up. Y'all have beaten him. Kiss my ass.
Look, all I'm saying is Dallas should win this game for 2 reasons. The first reason being, if we win this, that means that we'll actually be up 1-1 for our standings for the tournament. Therefore, not being the last seed, because the last seed is the worst fight you want to beat.
Oh, of course, because then you have to do the play-in game. Well, both the bottom 2 seeds have to do that play-in game.
Bottom 2 do the play-in game, and then
you don't want that.
The winner of that gets to then play. Wait, no, the winner of that gets into the quarterfinals.
Just gets in. No, the winner of that just gets in to get picked. Because after that game, then the next 4 teams pick who they want to play.
Right.
So you're probably gonna have to play the toughest team, to be honest. So
that's what happened to us last time. So
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like I'm looking at this game and I'm anticipating a dub. Any other games this weekend that you're kind of looking at, but you're like,
I haven't got a chance to really look at the schedule too much. I'm watching it on the stream here. Dynasty in Charge would be interesting.
Yeah.
Because Seoul Dynasty got their shit pushed in by New York. I don't know if you saw any of that. Man, Hacksaw had a field day. And with the Genji buffs coming in, oh my God.
Hell, do you think?
I would hope so. I really would hope so. Probably. Well, what I would do if I was in charge is I would not do it this coming week, obviously. But then when you unlock all the heroes for the final week of the month, so we have one regular season week where all the heroes are available, and then you have the tournament week. So I would give it 2 weeks where on those 2 weeks that you would unlock the latest patch would be, in my opinion, the best thing to do. But I think that is going to be a good game. Soul in Charge, because Charge could win that game pretty easily, or Soul could actually show up. Aside from that, Shock and Eternal is going to be a good game.
Oh yeah, I was about to highlight that game too, because fucking Sparkle last week popped off. Oh my God, dude!
But see, that's easy to do against them. Who were they playing? Was it the? I forgot. It was a more of a bottom tier team.
I'm pulling it up.
What was it? It wasn't Boston, was it? I think it was a better team than Boston.
Last week they was Paris Eternal. And
they
played Boston. Well,
was it Boston? Okay.
It took them to a 3-2 though. So Game 5 against Boston is still Game 5 against Boston.
Right. So Sparkle did pop off there, but it's a totally different beast, dude, when you go against the reigning champions. Like the Shock, you can't just come in there half-heartedly. They will whip you. They'll whoop your ass. So I think that's going to be a good game to see. We're going to test Sparkle really early, how good he really is.
That is so wild that these games go for so long, though.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too.
Oh man, that's the thing. It's like I'm happy that the Dallas Vancouver game is starting at 8, but fuck, I'm going to be all Overwatched out by then.
Yeah, 4 matches. Yeah. So what I usually do is I put stuff on the background. So the first 2 matches I'll probably look at. The Shock and Eternal game I'll definitely be watching. May kind of take a break during the Reign and Defiant because I kind of know where that one's going to go.
Right.
The Reign should win that. But
Atlanta's been on the downslide recently. So
Atlanta, you don't know what you can get out of Atlanta, dude. That's the thing. Like, they're so inconsistent. So no one has any idea, to be honest, what you're going to get out of that. But nah. And then so I'll watch the Outlaws in Dallas after that. But yeah, it's a lot of Overwatch coming in this coming weekend. But those are only 2 games that are really. I mean, the Spark and the Charge is going to be cool, but I don't think it has too much.
Shanghai, maybe.
Shanghai's going to destroy them. Chengdu, because Chengdu's cheese at this point, in my opinion, is it's known. Like it's lost a little bit of its novelty. Fun to watch still, but once the team figures out, okay, Chendu's gonna do this game. Now we figured it out, and Fleta is just popping off in the Dragons, dude. Fleta is low key, an MVP running as well. Fleta's been playing so well for the Dragons. But besides those games, everything else was like a steamroll. I can tell you who's gonna win all the rest of those games. Very easily. Very easily.
Well, we look at these games, we look forward to the weekend. We don't really have much news to talk about this week, so I think we're just gonna cut the episode short, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, this. I wish our teams were just playing better.
This is the part of the Overwatch League where, like, thanks to COVID and everything's shifting, it's like everything is kind of in limbo and nothing is moving as it's. We were supposed to have gone to, like, what, 4 homestands by now?
Right. We're supposed to have gone to 4 homestands. I was supposed to be really drunk, yelling in an arena, watching some video games, and yet here I am, practicing social distancing.
I really cannot wait to go to these games again. But we're gonna cut it early here, folks. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You catch the show right here because this is Texas Watch every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time, Texas time.
Central Time. Yeehaw.
No, best of time.
I was just being corny. Central Time. Best of time.
Yes. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.